What's going on, guys? It's still Cray. We're here in the garage today. I just want to thank you all so much for checking out the channel. I just want to do this little introduction video, just sort of to go over a little bit about who I am, the goals for the channel. We'll go over the bikes and all the projects, what we have planned basically. See if it's something you're into and you're wanting to stick around. Hopefully you will. Hit the subscribe button, like. Yeah, let's get to it. To start off, I live out here in Utah. I'm in school right now. I have a full-time job. I got welding certified last year. I wanted to learn how to, I've got a Sportster I want to chop. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I wanted to do it myself. I didn't want to pay anybody, so I don't really know people that know how to weld or have the time to teach me how to weld, so I went and learned myself. And I'm in a machinist program currently in my spare time. I've got 3 bikes here in the garage. We'll start off with this one right here. It's a 1989 FXRS. I bought this bike exactly as you see it now. It's the first bike I've ever bought that was kind of like, it's set up how I want it, mostly. I only have to do a few things. I'm pretty stoked about it. We put about 50 miles on it, and the belt snapped. Luckily, just outside in the neighborhood here, it wasn't too far away. We were able to load it up and get it back in the garage. But as you may know, replacing a belt on old Harley like this it's a pain. It's a big job for such a small thing. I am pretty sure that we're doing a chain drive. I really thought about doing a belt and even a smaller pulley, but chain drive is the project for this thing. It just seems like the more sensible thing to do. Other things I'd like to do, it has a stock, I think it's stock, 12.5 rear suspension on it. I want to raise that, probably do a 14. It currently pukes oil when you turn it on because it's been sitting for a couple months now. So I'm going to replace the oil check valve on that thing. You can expect to get full videos on all of that as I do it. Probably lift the front end too. It's got a lot of sweet ass parts on it. S&S Super E carb, TBR exhaust. Probably swap out these SDC mini pegs for some thrashing ones. Love the seat. Yeah, I think I want to raise the front end. It's got a Moon's MC headlight, integrated tail light in the back. And here's the 92 883 Sportster. My old man bought this. He's got a 15 Street Glide Special. He saw that I was wrenching on bikes and he wanted something to tinker on, I guess. And yeah, he ended up putting these 16-inch apes on this thing. That was really about it. He put the throttle cable on, the extended throttle cable. He had the clutch cable that he bought, but he never really got around to putting it on. When I was moving out here to Utah, I saw he wasn't touching it, so I was like, let me take it. I want to chop it. The only thing I've done to it was I put the longer clutch line on it. I'd never opened a primary before, and I wanted to figure out how to do it. So I did, knowing I was going to take them off, so I'll have to redo that. But completely took the primary part, just cleaned it all out and put new fluid in there, put it back together. I put a lowering kit on it. I think it's Burley brand, progressive 2-inch lowering kit on the front. I put these little rubber gaiters on too. I don't know if they're gonna stay. Bought these Pangea Speed Zephyr bars. I'm really stoked on those. The idea for this build, I imagine a dirt drag racer. I've got a Lowbrow Customs hardtail kit with it. I got their oil bag that goes with it, and then their battery box. This is going to be the first project, probably the first video I do will be me taking this bike apart. I'm going to rebuild the engine. I think I'm just going to do gaskets and everything. Once I get this bike taken apart, it's coming off the lift. Engine will go on a stand over on the bench while I work on that, and then the FXR is coming up so I can put the chain drive on it. That's the plan for the Sportster for now. I don't have too much in the, I'll do a chain drive, obviously. New exhaust, new carb. This thing currently runs like garbage. So we're gonna figure that out too. I am by no means a mechanic. I'm self-taught. I believe with a service manual and a bunch of research, you can get just about anything done. Right tools, obviously. And then sitting over here in this spot, this big empty space is where my 22 Lowrider ST would be. Most of you guys that are following me here currently that are watching this video know me from Instagram. That's what I mainly ride. I have a lot of work done to it. Not as many as some, but a bunch. It's not here because it's currently in the shop. I try and do my own work as much as possible. Originally, I had planned to, I've got a 2-inch lift, front and rear suspension. I went with GP. Planned to do all that myself, and then I have Thrash and Supply Lowrider ST, the Softail triple trees, the drop tree. So I did a 1-inch lift on the GP suspension. With the drop tree, I'll get 2 inches in the front. I had planned on doing that whole install and recording it. Luckily, some other stuff came up. I'm very thankful that it happened, but currently it's at the shop at Tucker Speed, and probably by the time this video is uploaded, their video will be uploaded, and I'll link that in the description below. But yeah, originally I had planned to just take the fork cartridges over to Tucker Speed and have them do it. It was mostly a cost thing. I think I was looking at about $500 in tools just to do GP cartridges, whereas it would have been about 2 hours, maybe less, of labor just to take him my forks and have him rebuild the cartridges. So I try and do all my own stuff, most importantly, and then try and save money where I can save money, because if I'm doing it myself, I'm learning, and that's what I'm here to do. As far as what we're going to be doing on the channel, it's going to be garage stuff. I'm going to be working on projects. You're going to see most of it, especially over the winter. Fix the Sportster, get the chopper going, disassembled, cut in half, welded back together, rebuild the engine, tear it down, rebuild it. FXR needs to be movable on its own, under its own power again, because I only put about 50 or 60 miles on that thing, and it is so fun to ride. It's a stock 80 engine. That thing has 6,000 original miles on it, so we'll swap all the fluids and just make sure they're fresh, basic stuff like that. Tires are great. I may do a separate video on the Lowrider ST. That'll probably be the next thing that you see out of me. I'll probably do some vlogging. You won't get much of it to start out. Winter's coming up soon. It's early October right now. I do a couple trips a year. I've got a good friend. He'll show up on the vlog with us. We're gonna plan a trip to California. A couple, like we did it this year. It was 4 days, 3 nights. It was a really good time, and I think we're gonna plan and do a Denver trip. He's never done Pikes Peak, Rocky Mountain National Forest. Was that Trail Ridge Road up there by Granby? And then my old man, he's got something like a 2-week trip. He said that he's planning out here. He lives in Oklahoma. That's where I'm originally from. But he's gonna knock out like Beartooth and a whole bunch of other stuff, and he wants me to hop on and meet him for a couple days here and there, and I'll probably do that. We try and do 4 corners every year. I have done 4 corners the past 4 years, 3 or 4 years. That's probably my favorite rally. I don't get Sturgis much because of work. I can't get the vacation for it. If it's available, I will definitely take it. I'd like to do another trip out there. And then of course I live in Utah. There's all kinds of riding around here. So vlogs, garage work. I'll probably do a couple product reviews. Yeah, again, the next thing, like I said, will be me getting my ST back, probably going over the suspension. I'm not an expert in suspension by any means. I just know that this one's kind of jarring. So as far as being able to tell like rebound and preload and all that stuff, I can't tell the difference. Stoked to get the lift, the 2-inch lift on the bike. I went to 4 corners with a guy that has a very similar bike to mine, and I got to sit on his, and he has a 2-inch lift, and it's just such an aggressive, gnarly feeling sitting on that bike, so I'm really excited. Anyway, I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. I hope you stick around to see what's to come. I'll see you on the next one.